The Chertsey sword was found in the mid-80s in a gravel extraction process with a chap using a drag line. Although it was not completely unexpected, the workers there had known for a long while that if they dug in a certain area that certainly ancient things would come to the surface. Usually just old bits of wood and things like that, but nothing quite as unique as this sword. It is indeed a very special piece. The sword is patently, from the design on it, the inlay that you've got both on the blade and on the upper grip, is patently something exceedingly expensive. Even 1,000 years ago it would have been exceptionally expensive. And we can only speculate as to how it found its way into the old river course, which was part of the Thames, as was then. There's a chance that this was made as an offering to the gods in some form, but equally it could have been accidentally lost overboard rather than being deposited, because certainly the sword has no marks on it which would suggest that it was in some way involved in any combat. You know, it's in very good condition considering it's been immersed for 1,000 years. We know that the Vikings raided throughout the British Kingdom at that time. They were perhaps at that time the premier pirates, raiders, however you look at them, sometimes rehabilitated into being traders, but they were quite feared up and down the country. And the sword could be tied in all probability, to an attack that occurred to the local monastery in the area. Obviously not that this one necessarily took part in it, but it may have been deposited, to say, as a votive offering to ensure that they had good luck during the attack. The first thing you notice is that it is very long. It is 15 millimetres short of a metre in length, which it makes it exceedingly large in that sense. I'm not a shrimp myself, but this, I have to say, once you get hold of the grip, borders on the unwieldy, but I can imagine that if I was to strike somebody with it, yeah, I think I could lop somebody's limb off with this if I was to use this in anger. The hand grip is big, so I can only assume that the owner was indeed a well-built man. It also weighs a fair bit. This is a little over 2 kilos in weight. That makes it at least 2 bags of sugar, which might not sound much, but once you've had that in your hand for a few minutes, you can begin to feel that it's taking quite a toll on you. It's quite exhausting. We don't know what the grip was made of. The replica I chose to make out of horn, although equally it could have been made out of wood, and it could have had antler as an insert into various areas to give it a slightly more grippy feel about it, so that it sat in the hand a bit more firmly.